Welcome to CelinaRadio.com. Recorded right here in Celina, Texas, a quiet little dusty, sleepy town that has absolutely nothing going on. Guys, I am so totally kidding about that. Of course, this is Celina, Texas, and we have everything going on here. Now, I'm Ron Lyons. This is CelinaRadio.com, and we intend to have a good time. So put on your seatbelt, and let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to CelinaRadio.com. I'm Ron Lyons, and today joining us on the show is Chuck Hansen. Chuck is running for school board with Celina ISD, and he, like 7 other candidates before him, was willing to sit down and kind of give us a bit of insight into who he is behind the scenes. So sit back, relax, and let's get started with Chuck Hansen. All right, guys, I am here with Chuck Hansen, and Chuck Hansen is a very busy man these days. Chuck, what do you have going on that's got you so busy right now?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm actually running for school board, place 1. I'm very excited. I've been on the board a little over 11 years, and this is actually the first time I've ever run a post. So first time I've been through the election process. I've learned a lot and really enjoying it, and so that's kind of what's taking up a lot of my time right now.
So give me an idea. I've asked almost everybody this so far. If you could rate the experience between a 1 and a 10, now that you are running opposed, 10 being awesome, 1 being, I don't think I'm ever going to do this again. What do you rate it?
Oh, it'd be close to 10, probably like an 8, 8.5. I mean, I've really enjoyed it. I'm learning a lot of stuff. It hadn't been miserable. You know, you don't have a lot of negative stuff. So 8.5, final answer.
8.5, I like
Yes,
that. And so it's been a good experience, and it's worth it because it's Celina, right? It's Celina ISD, something that obviously you're very passionate about. We're going to get into all of that. The one thing that we're not going to do is get into any of your platform or anything like that. But tell me, do you have anything that you want to share with the audience that they can go and maybe learn more about you, or maybe reach out to you directly?
Sure. I'm kind of old school, so the only thing I really am on is Facebook, and I do have a post out there that tells a little bit about who I am, what I believe, and a little bit about what drives my decision making. So I welcome you just search for Chuck Hansen Celina. I'm out there, as well as I've got a video out there, and got that as well. If you want to call me, I've got a cell phone. It works. May not answer because I get so many spam calls, so leave me a message. I'll return your phone call, but the number's 214-566-2295. Give me a ring.
So tell me, other than being the political candidate, if you don't mind sharing, what do you do for a living? What do you do in your normal life?
Well, my normal life is I've got 2 kids. They're adult kids, but I like to spend a little bit of time with them. What I do for a living is I'm an accountant. Been an accountant all my life. I was really good with numbers. Probably wouldn't have gotten into college had it not been for numbers. Back when the SAT was just math and English. English was not an impressive score, but thankfully math was good enough to get me there. So I've been an accountant. Worked for a company called King Aerospace out in Addison. Just controller, count beans, as a lot of people would tell me.
And as of right now, we're very, very close to election day. It's coming up. When is election day?
It's coming up hot. It's coming this Saturday. It'll be from 7 to 7 out at Collin College, May 7th. So get out and vote.
May the 7th. Yes, sir. We are literally right on top of that. So I bet in the back of your mind, you're kind of glad that it's almost over. Am I right?
You are very right. Yes, sir.
It's just one of those things. I've run for office, and I know how you feel. It's stressful, but again, it's worth it. So how long have you lived in the Celina area?
We moved here in 2007. So what does that make? 15 years this summer.
So you've been here for some time. And what do you think so far? We'll get in a little bit to about the growth and stuff like that. But did you ever see this coming, all of this growth and stuff? Did you see that a long time ago? Because I got here in 93. I didn't see it.
Yeah. You know, I think I did see it. I know that when I moved here, my little simple prayer to God was, Lord, just keep it small till my kids graduate high school. And he honored that prayer. And my last kid, my daughter, graduated in 17. So it was still relatively small. a wonderful system. But yeah, I saw the growth. I saw the people. But man, I honestly, if you'd asked me 3 years ago, did I think it'd be doing what's happening right now with all the rooftops and all the subdivisions and all the craziness? I don't think I would have seen it growing quite that fast, but I knew it would grow.
So you're doing the ISD thing. You're doing the school board. Could you ever see a Chuck Hansen running for city council down the road? Maybe.
Maybe. I'm not a lifetime politician. I'm just somebody who has a passion for Celina. If I ever saw something that I felt like the city was going in a direction I didn't like and I wanted to make a change, I'd absolutely be open to that. If that's something God opens, I'd certainly do it.
We've been talking to all the candidates so far, and one of the things that I like to ask, and one of the things I'm getting a lot of good feedback on, is what you like to do in Celina. Like, where do you like to go? What places do you like to hang out? What kind of things do you like to do around town? So share with us just a little bit about some of your favorite places or things to do in Celina.
Well, I mean, I love going downtown. They got some great restaurants, Papagayos, Tenders. I've really been kind of pumped over the last couple of years when they opened the Pelican and opened Roller, I think it's called Roller Town. Some local bars have been a lot of fun just to kind of go hang out there. I love all the festivals we had. Cajun festivals coming up. Man, they got a lot of cool things that are going on, and even the movie nights on the square, I'll go to those sometimes. So it's always got something going on. You just got to figure out when and where you want to go.
So a lot of people think, well, it's Celina. There can't be that much up there. But there is a life, and there's an energy here. And here's what I find is that when people actually get in here and they get a little sampling of that, they're addicted.
Great.
So somebody said one time it was drinking the Kool-Aid. Would you say you've drank the Celina Kool-Aid?
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. I drank it, and I serve it, and I've got a gallon of it in my refrigerator for all my friends. Yes, sir.
That's awesome. I like that. And it just came into my mind. I don't know why this just popped in my head, but I'm envisioning actual Celina Kool-Aid. It's got to be orange, right?
It is. Oh, absolutely. Yes, sir.
It's got to be orange. Everything in Celina is orange. So speaking of Kool-Aid, name a restaurant for me that you like to go to and tell me one of your favorite things to eat there.
Well, locally, I enjoy going to Andrews up in Gunner. That's a good time, and they've got good pizza. But here in Celina, it's got my brain walnut thing.
Toasted walnut, right?
Yes.
Right.
And their hamburger, the Wagyu burger. That's not
okay,
bad.
so
Yes,
I
sir.
literally had that for the first time there the other day. I'd not ordered that because there's so many other kind of eclectic things on the menu, things that, just get everywhere, like pimento cheese dip and
Yes, sir.
four cheese or whatever it is, grilled cheese. There's so many things to try. The burger seemed pretty basic to me, so that's the last thing. Well, I guess I've gone enough times now that I actually got to do the burger, and let me tell you, it was amazing.
To die for. You're going back for it. I can see the look in your eyes.
Do I look like a guy that misses too many burgers? No, I do not.
I don't either.
So, yeah, no, that's fantastic. Any other favorite restaurants you like to go and any other favorite items you like to get?
Yeah, Papagayos. I love I'm not very good with names. I think Carne Asada. It's like a skirt steak thing. Delicious. Chips and sauce are good. Margaritas are quite tasty. If I can say that on the radio.
No, you can 100% say that. We
Okay.
we literally just discovered recently a mango margarita there. Have you had the mango margarita there?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
It's
more than one,
really
actually.
good.
Yeah, it's very good, yes.
It's awesome. It's really, really good. And what's so cool about that is you can go to a place like Papagayos or one of those places, maybe Lucy's, and then if you go at the right time, you can step out on the square. There's music playing on the square, and it just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop when you walk out of the restaurant. It's a whole experience in Celina, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, and sometimes I get caught up in the music and take my fiance and we'll go dance around the square. Do a little two-step.
Absolutely. My daughter loves to go there and do cartwheels in the square, and so that's kind of like a thing, is take me to the square so I can do gymnastics. It's the exact same thing she could do in the front yard, but we've got to go to the square.
You'll never see me doing cartwheels, I assure you.
Okay, well, I am right there in line with you. I'm not gonna be doing that either. I'm afraid I'd be in a lot of trouble now. But speaking of the music they play on the square, it tends to be a lot of country music. What kind of music do you like?
Well, country. I've got 96.3, 99.5 on my radio station. I love the new stuff. I love the old stuff, old country. Growing up, I was into Journey, Styx, stuff like that. But right now, it's primarily country.
So what is it that happens? Because my dad did that. My dad was he was into the the rock that they had back in, Fats Domino and Elvis Presley and that sort of thing. But he turned into hardcore country, and he said, and I liked all the Journey and stuff. He said, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to love country music when you get older too. Why do we do that?
That's a great question. Why I think I like the words. There's a message, and I think about, there's a song that I heard coming home today, and again, I'm horrible with artists or names, but it talks about Until You Can't. And it's a song about going fishing with your dad until you can't, put a ring on the finger of the girl you've been dating with since high school till you can't. It's just about taking that opportunity in life and not missing it. And so I think a lot of country songs, if you get outside of the beat and you actually listen to the words, there's kind of a cool message. And so I guess that's why I like it. I'm kind of weird that way.
No, I think you're right. I think you're onto something, and that helps me understand maybe why I like it so much. And the other side of that is I have such a dislike for some of the stuff that's out there right now that they, the other kinds of music, and it doesn't really matter what it is. I'm just not a fan of anything else they're really doing right now. And I like classic country. Do you like any classic country?
Oh yeah, like George Jones, Johnny Cash.
Now you're talking my language.
Yes, sir. Yeah, as a matter of fact, if you ask my son, who's 27 years old, the stuff today is not real country. What we just talked about, that's the only real country to him. He's got playlists of, I love that stuff.
Give me an idea. What does Chuck Hansen do for fun? What do you do? What do you have any hobbies? You have anything that you like to do to relax or anything like that?
Well, of course, you can kind of look around since you're out here at the house. I've got a lot of yard work I have to do, so that takes a lot of time during the summer. I love hanging out. If I can get it all caught up, I love hanging out with the pool. I play golf. I do a little bit of fishing. A little bit of traveling, and then if I can get it all kind of accomplished, I like to sit down and read. I can do that. And, I can just pretty much kill a whole day doing nothing but just maybe pulling up Netflix and watching a couple movies.
That sounds good. That's actually after, and especially with everything going on right now, it's probably is just gold to sit down and basically almost do nothing.
Yeah, I'm good at that. It's a gift. God bless me in that area.
Well, I think He bless you and I both. So give me an idea. Do you have a favorite, talking about Netflix, do you have a favorite movie or TV show?
I've watched Ozark. I've watched some really kind of bizarre stuff. I'm looking, if you got some ideas, I'd like to kind of get caught up because I'm through Ozark. I've been through Better Call Saul, the one that was before that with gosh, I can't remember. Again,
I know what you're talking about.
Bad something. Breaking Bad. So,
Yep.
I watched some of that weird stuff.
Have you done Yellowstone yet?
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, I love Yellowstone.
All right.
I can't wait.
So on Yellowstone, do you have a favorite character between, so you've got Costner and then you've got...
Rip is so cool.
All right.
So
that is
cool.
100% always the answer.
Oh, is it?
It is.
I just figured that'd be popular with the females, but no, Rip's bad. He's awesome.
It is literally every time I ask that question, and I haven't done it on any of these podcasts. You're the first person I ask, but every time I ask it out in the real world, that's what everyone says.
He's just cool.
He's just cool.
He's who I want to be when I grow up.
100%, right? He's every man's dream if we could just be that, right? So, and probably in our own minds, we are a little bit of that, or at least we like to think so. But talking about characters and stuff like that, if you could find somebody in history that you would like to sit down with and maybe have a cup of coffee, does anybody come to mind that you'd love to sit down with and have a little discussion?
Well, I guess you could. I could go Bible stuff. I can go back Old Testament, New Testament, and probably, I was having a discussion with a buddy of mine a couple of days ago, and we were talking about Judas. I think I'd like to have a cup of coffee and just get in his head, because he had a perspective on what he thought Judas was doing in his betrayal of Christ. I had my own perspective. We both disagreed or agreed on whether he was in heaven or not. So I'd love to know exactly what he was thinking. I'd kind of like to know if I was right and go back to my buddy and say, I killed it. And then, of course, if he was right, I'd never tell him.
Of course you wouldn't.
No, sir.
Why would you do that? So,
yeah.
Give me an idea. So that's a very interesting answer. And I've never thought about that. That would be a very interesting conversation. Yeah. Tell me, where in Celina would you take him?
Where would I take him? I'd probably have to go to like the Pelican or Roller Tower. I could have a cold one.
You're saying Pelican, and I think it's Penguin.
Penguin, you're right.
Wooden Penguin.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Penguin.
Because I was at first when you were saying that, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm missing out on this place.
I do that all the time. I don't know why I can't get Penguin.
I do the exact same thing. So, but okay, yes. So Wooden Penguin, you take him to Wooden Penguin.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'd sit out there in one of those tables, and I'd offer to buy him a cold beverage, and we'd just sit there, and I'd get in his head, man.
So you're not going to take him to Papagayo's and get a mango margarita with Judas?
Well, I could be open to that, I guess.
It might make the answers come just a little bit easier. Give me an idea now. Obviously, we're talking about history or people from history and stuff like that. If you could go back in history, if you could go back to, I've been saying 17, 18-year-old self, somewhere around in there, and either give yourself some advice or just say something to yourself. What might Chuck Hansen now say to Chuck Hansen then?
I'm 18. If I'm 18, I'd say you're going to be real stupid over the next 5 years of your life, but you will get over it. And I'd probably say longer term, learn to get outside of your comfort zone. You know, I've found that I spend a lot of time kind of in my comfort zone. I'm very conservative in doing some things. And then over the last 10 years, I've kind of got outside of it and I really have enjoyed the challenges it's brought, and just, it's been a lot of fun. So I would encourage myself at an earlier stage of life to get outside of my comfort zone.
What are some things that you would have maybe done back at 18, 19, 20, 21 years old that you didn't do?
Well, I was in college back then, so it probably would have been more like outside. I would have traveled more. I would have said, you know what? Because I'm historically kind of cheap, and so that's why I didn't travel a whole lot. I just want to save my money. But I would challenge myself because the memories that I've gotten when I have started traveling, been to Alaska, been to Hawaii, been really blessed with the opportunity to just see some things that are really cool. And those memories are things that I'll cherish forever. And I missed out on about 10 or 15 years because I don't have the money for it. It doesn't make sense. I'd rather put money down on a car, And you got the rest of your life to pay for that stuff. So make some memories, spend some money, get outside your box, and have some fun, 18-year-old Chuck Hansen.
Is that the kind of advice that you have given to your own kids?
No, they can't afford it. They need to.
Yes, like, no, don't travel. Do not travel.
No, I've told my kids. I said, look, both of them are graduate. My daughter graduates from college here in a couple of weeks, and I've said, you got a college degree, but do what you love. God's given you a gift and a passion for something in life. If you want to be a garbage man, and I hope nobody takes offense to that, but whatever you want to do, be passionate about it, enjoy it. I'd rather you go to a job and enjoy what you're doing. I don't care if you just make enough money to stay out of the house, but enjoy yourself and be happy. And that's kind of the advice I've given my kids.
So you're helping me out. I've got a 9-year-old right now, and I'm making notes, mental notes here, right, so that, in a few years.
Free of charge, buddy. It's about what it's worth.
That's good. Give me an idea of your favorite subject back in school.
Math. Absolutely. I was in advanced math, and like I said, if it hadn't been for math, I don't know that I'd have gotten into Baylor.
So what is it about your brain and my brain that are wired so differently? Because I literally, you just say the word algebra, and I want to run.
I guess it's just the way God makes two people. And I was talking to a buddy one time, and I said, so if you were given an equation, 13 times 11, what would you do? And he's talking to me, he said, well, I'd take 13 and 11, I'd go 3, 1, carry all this kind of, and he's doing how we learn how to do it. And I'd go, I'd take 13 times 10, 130 plus 13 would be 143. And so my brain works breaking down the math problems into kind of parameters. I don't know how you would do that. How would you?
I would just sit there with the puzzled look on my face.
I'd just get my phone out and take 13 times or whatever it is.
I would say this is why I did law enforcement, because I'm not a doctor, because I'm not good at math. So I didn't have to count, too much in the career path I took. But if you weren't being an accountant, what other thing could you see yourself doing, or what other dream job might you have if accounting wasn't on the table for you?
Well, I mean, if I was gifted enough to play golf, I'd love to be a professional golfer. I'd love to be on the seniors tour. I love playing golf. I'm just not near good enough to do that for a living. So that's why I'm an accountant.
Well, that makes sense, but you can still do it for fun, right?
I can, yeah. And I do try and get out as often as I can. My son and I like to play. And
Where do you like to go whenever you do golf?
I'll go up to Gunner. We'll go up to the bridges and play up there. And I was really pumped when I was talking to a guy the other day, and this new subdivision they're building out here, they're going to build an 18-hole golf course.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's going to be a lot closer. So
yeah, that's great.
And then I just get out here and I'll hit my 7-iron as far as I can and Hope I don't break a window.
So are you the kind of guy that can sit down on a Saturday or Sunday? I don't even remember what day it is that they do so much of it, but can you watch golf on TV?
All day long. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So I'm learning we've got a lot of things in common. We've got certain things that aren't in common. And I would literally back in the day turn on golf so that I could take a nap.
Okay.
So and
I wouldn't doze off occasionally, but I could watch it all day. Yeah.
And I am terrible actually playing golf. I mean, so bad that I literally turn it down 100%. Like I never go.
Oh, okay.
So that's just how bad it is. One of the things that a lot of people, well, I've asked a lot of people, and every once in a while I've gotten a yes. Mostly I've gotten no's. But Lucy's does karaoke. Have you ever done that there?
I have not ever done that there. No, I've done karaoke maybe twice in my life.
And what was the reason for that?
It was
okay. Well,
it was pomegranate margaritas, and it's probably a little bit too much. And I was challenged by somebody, and it wasn't that good. I mean, I'm afraid. I love listening to people sing. I love people that have the talent. I can get close to the tune. I can somewhat hold a tone, but I don't think I would.
Yep, I understand. So definitely not going to find you on the playlist up at Lucy's
probably
anytime soon. Sir. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Biggest pet peeve would be traffic related, and it's the guy that when you see the construction zone coming up, and he's driving on the left hand side, and he's going over the shoulder so that he can get all the way up in the front, cut everybody off because his time is so important. He can't wait in line with the rest of us.
I do not know what you drive, but and I'm just going to ask you, if you could drive anything, what would you drive?
I could drive anything. What would I drive? I would drive a tank or some large assault vehicle.
You're pretty serious about this road rage. So you just would run over them.
Well, no, I wouldn't. I just would like to have the ability to run over somebody. I don't know if I'd actually do it. It would just be nice to know that I could run right over the top of somebody and it wouldn't damage my vehicle.
Absolutely.
That would be kind of a sweet thought.
Absolutely. Would you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
I would say I'm actually kind of a common. You put me in a room of people that I don't know, introvert. I'm not familiar with people. You put me in a group of folks that I'm familiar with, a Sunday school class, a party, or something like that. I'm very, very comfortable. I'm an extrovert then, but I'm not bold enough that, if I don't know them, I'm kind of hiding in the corner next to the punch bowl.
We briefly talked about favorite movies and TV shows. We kind of got more on TV shows. I'm real curious. Do you have a favorite movie?
Well, I'll say that there's one movie I watch at least 4 times a year, and that's Elf.
Oh, wow.
At Christmas. I always watch it, and it's just, I can't tell you why, it just makes me happy.
Okay, you know what? That's a really, really good reason to do something. I like that. I'm trying to think of. Yeah, I've probably seen it about 40 times.
Yeah,
so,
it's a classic.
I'm with you on that. Favorite color?
Favorite color would be the color I painted my '68 Mustang when I first got it. It was a midnight blue, and it was just gorgeous. It had little sparkles in it and cool racing stripes, and not sure why. It's just always been one of my favorite colors.
Now, do you still have that car?
No, I don't. I don't. Yeah. I was an idiot kid. I put the mags wheels on it. I discarded everything of value on it when I was 17 years old to make it cool.
Yep.
And then it wasn't worth anything.
Tell me this. If you could have your old Mustang back, let's say you found a killer deal on your actual Mustang, would you buy it?
Absolutely. Well, the funny thing is I could understand that car. If it didn't crank over, I knew how to look at a carburetor. I knew how to, I worked on that thing. I replaced timing belt. Today, you got these silicone chips that I wouldn't even know where to begin. So that's what I'd love to be able to drive something that I actually understood.
I'm going to ask you a question I haven't asked anybody else yet. Well, first of all, I have to preface it with a different question. What year did you graduate high school?
83.
83. So we're right there close together. This is going to sound so off the wall, but I promised myself I was going to do this to the very last person. Well, you're the last person. Okay. Yes. Okay. Wrestling back in the day. Was it real or was it fake?
I think it was fake. But my grandfather, he died knowing in his heart it was real. But it was fake. Even as a kid, I could see it.
Talk to me about Celina. We talked about how fast it's growing and all that stuff. Are you a fan of everything growing, or what do you think about it?
Well, I mean, growth is inevitable. It's coming this way. What kind of my platform, and I don't know if I can share it here, but I will.
Absolutely, please.
Right here,
please.
is I really believe that Celina, when I moved here, we had a sign right just south of the Shell station that said faith, family, football. If you've been around a while, you probably remember that sign. And that struck me. And it's like, this is a community that's founded in faith, deep faith. And that was very impressive to me. And that's something that I want to make sure that as this community grows, when we go from 20,000 to 40 to 100,000, it can still be a faith-based community. And that's very important to me. And so I'd love to be able to see, and I even felt like our city also has the same underlying foundation, if you will. So that's important. It's going to grow. Am I excited? I think I mentioned earlier, I'm excited about the golf course. So there are things that I'm excited. There's going to be some new retail. There's going to be a lot of fun things.
If Celina wasn't an option for you, if Celina let's just say it didn't even exist for some reason, and you could live anywhere else in the world, where would that be?
On the whole world. Well, I mean, I love the mountains. I love Colorado. So if I had an option in the whole world, I guess I'd look at, again, I mentioned I was cheap. So what's the most affordable place with mountains that I could live in? But Colorado's beautiful. I love the mountains. I love the way the sun rises and the way the sun sets and there's something about God's presence in the mountains that is different than anything I've ever felt. So it'd be there.
I think you might be the third person that's mentioned something similar, and it's gotten me so interested now that I want to go myself. I'm not typically a mountain person. I'm a beach person.
Okay.
So between you and maybe these other two interviews I've done, I think I might just put that on my list. So is there anywhere in particular that you would recommend a person goes in Colorado or somewhere?
Colorado Springs is gorgeous. They've got the Air Force Academy up there, and that whole area is up there. And any of the ski resorts, just look for a mountain and drive as far up as you can and get out and check it out. You can't miss it, man.
It's kind of like God's painted it all over. So
yes, sir.
There it is. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to go find it. It's right there.
He'll bring it to you. Just get out there.
I like it. So I'm going to wrap it up with this, and it's the same thing that I've been asking almost everybody, and that is why Celina right now? What do you love about Celina?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, it's that faith foundation. I love the small town feel, even though it's growing. The one high school, the football games, I love that when I came out here, and we still do it. We have the run through signs that are Bible verses. There's just that, we pray before pep rallies. There's just that incredible. I told people I told my parents when I moved out here, I said, this is a private school feeling for a tuition I can afford.
I like that. That's absolutely right.
That's what I love about the community.
So you have a very strong passion for Celina. Obviously, a person doesn't have to sit any longer than I've sat with you to get that. And I appreciate you sharing that passion with me, giving us a bit of insight into your life. And let me ask you this. Would you come back on the show in the future and let's talk about something not political at all? Maybe old cars, maybe mountains, maybe mango margaritas.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. If you're that desperate to get something on your show, brother, you call me up. We'll make it work, man.
I need good people, and you're good people. So
I appreciate it. I'd be happy to do it.
All right, guys, that is Chuck Hansen. And Chuck, thank you so very much for being on the show. And I just want to take a moment and say thank you to all of our guests. There have been 8 candidates now on CelinaRadio.com, and each and every one of them are good people. They've got Celina in their heart, and they were kind enough to come on and share a little bit of their private life with you and I. And you know what? This is also a good opportunity to say to you, if you think you're a good fit to be on CelinaRadio.com, go down to the very bottom of the page, down in the footer section, and there's a link that says register as a guest. And that doesn't mean that every single person is always going to get approved, and certainly it doesn't mean the scheduling is going to work out now, but it may work out later. But if you feel like you've got something to share, go down to that link on the bottom of the page, click on it, and fill out the form, and then we'll be in contact. And if there's any way possible that we can work you into the show, we'll certainly do it. And guys, tell everybody else about CelinaRadio.com. Share it on your social media. Tell everybody we're out here. We're doing some amazing things. The show has just taken off like crazy. The statistics are incredible. And that is thanks to you, the listener. So guys, just like always, I'm going to wrap it up right there. We've got some great things coming up. We've got some fantastic guests. We've got some event coverage coming up. We're just going to have fun. Summer's coming up. We're living in a blessed time, in a blessed city, and it's just amazing. So on that note, guys, God bless you, and I'll see you on the next show.